What is up, guys? Justendo here. The Xbox Series X released in 2020 as part of the 9th generation of gaming consoles. Is the Xbox Series X worth it in 2022? Let's tech it out. The model I have here is the Xbox Series X Halo Infinite Limited Edition. Whereas PlayStation 5 makes a bold statement in any room, the Xbox Series X serves to blend with the rest of your entertainment center. Sitting at 11.9 inches high and 5.9 inches wide, this minimalistic approach means that this console takes up considerably less space. Sitting side by side with the PlayStation 5 makes this aspect painfully apparent and is a pro in the Xbox Series X's favor. Something to note is that Microsoft also has a budget entry model called the Xbox Series S that is cheaper and considerably smaller but with weaker specs. If you're willing to sacrifice a disk drive, higher resolutions, and frame rates in return for more real estate, the cheaper Xbox Series S might be the better option. But let's discuss really quickly about the controller. Ever since the era of the Xbox 360, Microsoft's controllers are considered some of the most comfortable and ergonomically appealing designs, and this still is true today. The D-pad on these controllers aren't as good as, say, PlayStation or Nintendo, but it makes up for it in responsive buttons, smooth control sticks, the introduction of USB-C, as well as an option for AA batteries, and the triggers are still comfortable today. They don't try to do anything gimmicky like with Sony's DualSense or Joy-Cons, and for most gamers, that will be completely fine. There is also an Elite Controller Series 2 that offers greater quality and customizable options like adjustable thumbsticks and a removable D-pad. I have found the Xbox Series X to be a powerhouse of a console, as it should be considering it's a next generation console. It features a custom AMD Zen 2 CPU with 8 cores at 3.8 GHz and a custom RDNA 2 GPU at 12 teraflops. It boasts 16 GB of GDDR6 SD RAM, and this console is capable of 4K resolution at 60 FPS with frame rates being capable of 120 FPS, but just like the PlayStation 5, these are marketing jargon as most games hit one or the other in most cases. It has a 1TB PCIe Gen 4 custom Nvme SSD, which is crazy fast at 2.4 GB a second, and while this is slightly higher than what you would get with the base PS5 in terms of storage, the SSD speeds here are slightly slower than the PS5 SSD speeds, so that's something to keep in mind. If they aren't side by side, you would be hard pressed to be disappointed as the loading speeds on the system is fast, the UI is zippy, and there's a setting to allow it to instant wake, similar to other consoles, but with this console waking from sleep in 5 seconds. Something I noticed that was confusing compared to Switch and PS5 is that when you press and hold the Xbox button, it gives you an option to turn off the console. This is actually sleep mode, as you would have to go into the settings to do a full shutdown. Also, downloading updates and games while it is asleep isn't on by default, as you will have to turn this on as well. Graphics are pretty similar to PS5 with options of either 4K at 60 or 1080p at 120 FPS, in most games with new hardware features like ray tracing. You'll be getting the latest gen console hardware if you opt for Series X, and this system will future-proof you for years to come, so it doesn't disappoint at all in the graphics department. In my opinion, the graphics and speeds of the Xbox Series X as well as the PS5 are so similar that the choice to choose between them comes down to the games and exclusives each have to offer. If you are a fan of Halo, Forza, Sunset Overdrive, or Sea of Thieves, for example, then the selection of games found on the Series X when paired with third-party offerings will be your best choice. If God of War, Spider-Man, or The Last of Us is more your cup of tea, then Sony's PlayStation will be where you will call home. Keep in mind that Microsoft recently acquired Activision Blizzard, as well as Bethesda, meaning a huge chunk of third-party titles will now have the potential to be exclusive to Xbox, such as Overwatch, Diablo, Call of Duty, and Elder Scrolls, just to name a few. There is also the elephant in the room called Xbox Game Pass, which has had critical acclaim to the amount of value and library of games the subscription service offers, with more games to come. If you can live without Sony or Nintendo's first-party games, Xbox isn't lacking, especially since most Xbox One games are backwards compatible as well. If you are able to snag an Xbox Series X for its retail price of $499, it is completely worth it if you are a console gamer. If you have a desktop gaming PC already, then this is a gaming box that isn't for you, or if you already have a competent gaming laptop. The exclusives can be found on PC and at higher settings. The route that Microsoft is taking in regards to gaming is forward-thinking. It isn't about what piece of hardware you use as long as you are roped into their ecosystem. Xbox Game Pass is the true winner of this generation, and with Microsoft acquiring all of these game studios, the value of their gaming service will continue to grow. The Series X is a great piece of hardware for the price, but probably isn't worth it if you buy it scalped online. Microsoft is willing to take the hit of a cheaper price than the PS5, since their goal is subscription-based, not hardware-based profits. If you want an even smaller console and you don't care about 4K or don't have a 4K display, the Series S is an even greater value at $299. Both consoles were born in the pandemic and haven't even scratched the surface of their potential. If you guys enjoyed this content, make sure to like this video and subscribe so I can continue to make videos that I hope can help people with their tech decisions. I'll catch you guys in the next video, and happy gaming.